in your little
But
missions.
what I usually do is I usually beat the game. With these Spider-Man games, I will beat the game and then I will delete it. It stays in my storage, and I never play it again. If you can have it, if you can pull a Ghost of sashimi, if you pull one of those, if you pull one of those, then
put some respect on it.
Put some respect on my
that's
name.
ongoing gameplay. That should be a goal for all games.
Hey, what's good, fellow web slingers?
Let's just start off with just game of the year.
Of course, everybody loves Spider-Man.
Spider-Man 2 is definitely a contender for game of the year.
The Web-Wing, fall with style.
It blends in for a Spider-Man 3 game.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, what's good, fellow web slingers and gamers? Welcome back to the Nerd or Nothing channel. Today we got something incredibly special for you, an in-depth review of one of the most anticipated games of the year. That's right, thanks to the team at Insomniac Games, we're diving deep into the world of Spider-Man 2 for the PlayStation 5. And trust us when we say this game is a true masterpiece. From the stunning graphics that push the PlayStation 5 to its limits, to the immersive storyline that's going to blow your mind, we got it all covered right here. But before we get into this action, make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss any of our reviews and nerdy goodness. Hit the subscribe button for the Nerd or Nothing Gaming, the Narf Zone podcast for all our nerdy discussions, and stay tuned for the Tabletop Gaming coming in January 2024. Well, let's web sling right into it and find out if Spider-Man 2 for the PlayStation 5 lives up to the hype.
Game of the year. Let's just start off with just game of the year. I'm not even done. I'm almost done with the story, and it was just from start to finish. It's gonna be the game of the year.
You know, I misspoke when I played Baldur's Gate that, you know, Baldur's Gate is a game of the year contender. It absolutely is a game of the year contender, but like me and Flashmaster were talking about, it doesn't have a game of the year fan base. Spider-Man 2, however, man, I love this game from front to back. Nothing in this game was boring. All the little side missions, everything just had Easter egg after Easter egg.
Well, yo, Nas, let me ask you this, though. I mean, since we're talking about game of the year, Tears of the Kingdom, right?
Love it.
But as far as a fan base goes, right, and I get it, Baldur's Gate didn't have a fan base to actually go into possibly being game of the year, but Tears of the Kingdom, though, has a very large fan base.
Large is not even the word. Large is just that is diminishing the actual fan base.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Because you
so where does Spider-Man 2 fall with that?
Spider-Man 2, I think, is right on par with Tears of the Kingdom, or, you know, the Zelda fan base in general. You think Spider-Man is one of the first major characters in Marvel that is loved, renowned.
Of course,
you know, everybody loves Spider-Man, you know, regardless if it's your favorite character or not, you know. And then Legend of Zelda, if you've played any of the Legend of Zelda games from the 80s till now, you're a fan of the game series.
Yeah, you're hooked.
Boom. So, okay, so we could basically come to a conclusion that Spider-Man 2 is definitely a contender for game of the year.
No, I didn't say contender.
We talked about Hogwarts Legacy possibly being up there, but after a while, Hogwarts Legacy had way too many bugs. Final Fantasy 16 will probably get like a music award. It'll probably walk away with a couple awards. Baldur's Gate will probably walk away with a couple awards and whatnot. But overall, music, gameplay, graphics, you know, storyline, side stories, just everything.
Word.
Spider-Man 2.
Wow.
Listen, I've been actually following the marketing and branding journey, aside from the design journey of that game. The amount of effort that they put into the marketing for that game, between the special release of that PlayStation, I don't know, Nas, I think you might have that, right? Did you get the special edition PlayStation 5?
I didn't get the special edition PlayStation 5. I got the controller.
Nice.
With the Venom takeover.
So with
That's
that
nasty.
PlayStation 5, like, you know, I believe that not only came with like a fully customized like Spider-Man 2 themed PlayStation with the controllers, but it also came with some, I think is like 15 inches worth of Venom along with
No, that was fan made on a 3D. That was not the original one they did.
Nice.
The original one they did was just the same thing as the controller. It was a Venom takeover of the Spider-Man's color.
Did you guys also hear about that one marketing stunt that they did with the truck, where they had the truck all webbed up? I think it was in Manhattan, but the team over at Insomniac Games.
No, I didn't hear about that.
I didn't hear about that either.
You guys definitely got to check it out. Like it was a spectacle where they actually did this whole marketing stunt where there's a truck flipped and it was like Spider-Man 2 PlayStation release. Definitely check it out on the internet. It's pretty dope.
That's pretty dope.
For me, I'm from New York. What they do and all of the areas, how they do it and how they depict it in the game, and how it's like New York City. You were in New York City and you can go from borough to borough. And they did a really good job at that. So this, the world expanding and the world creations.
You were able to cross the bridge to this game too.
That
was the first in this one.
Yep.
The 59th Street Bridge or all the bridges?
All the bridges.
All the bridges.
That is dope.
One of the biggest things that they advertised was the new traversal system, the web wings, where he's able to just basically
glide,
like Buzz Lightyear, fall with style, go through like these different wind tunnels. And I'm like, okay, maybe we'll get this later in the game.
I like what you
almost
did there.
Immediately. You like that?
That's great.
But
so they do it almost immediately.
Yeah, you get it almost immediately, and I'm like, okay, I'm cool with just gliding around.
Other than the time and effort that they put into the detail with this game, you can just do the side missions and be completely fulfilled before ever getting back to the story, and I love that.
And what I like is how they kind of switched up the story too, because typically we know that Venom's host was Eddie Brock. So in this game, I'm not going to go into it for anybody that hasn't played the game. I don't want to give any spoilers, but it's not Eddie Brock this time. What they make it blend in so perfectly, and whenever you guys get to Endgame, it blends in for a Spider-Man 3 game.
Whew.
Dang. That's what's up.
We've already seen some of the Sinister Six in the original, like Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man Miles Morales. We've seen some of the Sinister Six.
Right.
It's going to get a little bit deeper into the Spider-Man that we all loved from the 90s cartoon series.
It's going to be a worldwide phenomenon. I'm sorry, I love Link. I grew up with Zelda. I don't think it's even going to come a close second with this because of just the way that they're advertising this and the way it's going.
I will say, Tears of the Kingdom is going to be a close contender. Like I said, I played 100 hours already on Tears of the Kingdom. I absolutely love the game because I love Legend of Zelda games. I love Spider-Man games too, but this one really had me in my feels.
Okay, let's go to gameplay, because obviously we know that Tears of the Kingdom, besides just the fact that already nostalgia purposes as it is foundation, everybody loves Link. Period. Playing him as a playable character and just the way that the action goes as far as playing the game, it's fun to play. So what makes Spider-Man 2 fun to play? I know that you can now play as Peter Parker and Miles Morales. Like, how is it? Like, as far as like explain it, I would love to hear that.
Excuse me, sir. Have you ever played any Spider-Man game since PlayStation 1?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And what is the most favorite thing in a Spider-Man game?
Oh yo, man, I loved parkour, man, dude. Just
web-slinging.
Web-slinging.
Parkour.
That's the correct answer.
Whipping through the streets. Of course.
Parkour!
Between that traversal system, like being able to web swing, now they allowed for you to turn on fall damage for this Spider-Man game, which they didn't do previously. So if you hit the ground with fall damage on, depending on how you're playing, performance mode, ray tracing mode, you can definitely tell the differences. You'll start to see reflections with buildings and whatnot. Combat system is it's very simple, but also it allows you to be free and complex with it.
What is it similar to, as far as like the games that we know that are out there?
The
like
Arkham series.
Oh,
I'd say it's close to the Arkham series.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's exactly like it, but very close to the Batman Arkham Knight series. Also, with the web wings, it kind of made me think this would be a good flight system if they tweaked it a little bit for a Superman game. And we all know we haven't had a good Superman game.
Never.
I would love to have a Superman game.
Walking into this, I had this question. How does this game play into the future of the movies?
So I guess they are going to be making a Miles Morales movie based off of the
Correct.
character
Yeah,
from
live action.
the video game. I
Yeah.
will also say that if you remember in Across the Spider-Verse, we even saw that he was crossed over into that as well. So
What I do like about this, though, is that how video games are now playing as an adaptation or an enhancement to the movies. Like it's actually really cool how they're doing that. Sony is actually using the game to advertise.
We have to give props to Insomniac Games because they had a heavy hand in all of this. Sony is the main conglomerate, but Insomniac Games is what made this bad boy happen as well. So shouts out to the team at Insomniac.
If I could get into the story without any kind of spoilers or anything like that, like I said, this game had me in my feels in multiple moments of the game.
Absolutely.
I was I was seriously choked up. And Mad V, you probably got to the same point that I did the first time I got choked up. And I'm like, oh man, oh man. And then not too long after that, you got the black suit. And I was like,
yep.
Okay.
This is not a spoiler or anything. There's a portion where you can get suits, and then you can do the suit mods, but you could also change the actions and what happens on the screen when you do moves based on the suit that you're wearing.
Like you could play with the Into the Spider-Verse or Across the Spider-Verse uniform, and it shows the web slinging and the actual animation from the movies.
Right. I mean, I saw a couple of exciting things, and I don't really think it's a spoiler, that you could be like the Wakanda Forever edition of a costume.
Yeah.
Wolverine.
It's called the Forever edition. I love that.
That was crazy.
Wolverine. So the Wolverine one, they had 4 different color versions for it. 2 of them were the original blue and yellow, and then the black and yellow that came later on.
Oh, nice.
That's X-Force. The X-Force
Yeah,
version.
the X-Force version.
Oh, no, wait. Is that an all-black one with the red eyes? Did they do anything like that?
Black and yellow. They did have the all black
So
and
did
red
they-
eyes.
Did they do it with and without the cowl too?
With the cowl, just with the cowl.
Oh, wow.
So long story short, game of the year.
Absolutely. The only thing I see close is like you mentioned, Tears of the Kingdom. And as close as it may be, Spider-Man still has it.
In our previous episodes, we talked about upcoming games. I don't see anything that's going to be able to compete with this after playing this game.
I mean, game of the year is like in literally what, in a month?
Yeah, best to believe we're going to do a review on the Game of the Year thing too. But overall, I mean, if we all were to give this game a grade, what would we give it?
This is the finest aged, highest priced whiskey that you have on the shelf.
Well, you know me, I'm mad and I don't give anything a perfect score, so nothing's perfect. So I'll give it a 9 point.
But you're also a Spider-Man fan.
I am. Spider-Man is my favorite character of all the characters. So
and you said you love Miles Morales a lot. So
that's your homie.
That's why I'm going to give it a 9.9.
Here's one question for you, Mabu. If there's one thing that you could change about the game, what would it be?
There are side missions, and in pretty much any game, especially the Spider-Man games, where I avoid those side missions. And there's a point to those side missions. They're supposed to help you with functionality and you knowing how to utilize the players. There's a few of those that I would get rid of for me personally, but I still think the fans would still enjoy those.
Would you say it's because of redundancy, though? Would you say it's because some certain side missions are redundant?
Not because I love that. I like just doing, this is what I have to do, and this is the goal I have to achieve, and I like pecking away at them slowly but surely.
But like the grind.
I like the grind. You get used to fighting in a certain form or fashion, or traversing in a certain form of fashion. But these missions are teaching you how to do things in another way. Because there's multiple ways to do things, and you can't beat the mission unless you do it in a way that you're not used to doing it.
Here's one thing that I would add. Because you get to play as Peter Parker and Miles Morales, can you imagine the epicness of it being a 2-player game?
That's really how they did this game. There are portions of the game where you'll be swinging around as Peter or Miles, and you'll see whoever you're not playing as. And then they'll join into the fight that you're in.
Do you think that they're going to pull a Ghost of Tsushima sashimi? And
no,
you don't think they're going to do that?
I don't think so.
That gets deeper into character creation, and if it's not broke, don't fix it, you know?
Okay, I'm
Right.
trying.
I mean,
Okay.
those are one of those.
So
Are
you're
one of
not
those
seeing
things
a
that,
multiplayer online portion? You're not seeing that?
No, at least not in this stage. I don't see it, but it's not impossible, because if we look at Gotham Knights, you could play multiplayer online. You could play by yourself cleaning up Gotham City, or you can have somebody random online or a friend online join you in your little
But
missions.
what I usually do is I usually beat the game. The Spider-Man games, I will beat the game and then I will delete it. It stays in my storage and I never play it again. If you can have it, if you can pull a Ghost of sashimi, if you pull one of those, if you pull one of those, then
put some respect on it.
Put some respect on the
that's
name.
ongoing gameplay. That should be a goal for all games.
it definitely should be. But listen, guys, what do you guys think about the new Spider-Man? Do you think it's amazing? Do you think that Insomniac and Sony did an amazing job that it's worth Game of the Year? You tell us in the comments. Love it or hate it, leave it right here down below. But make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and join us next time, guys. Peace.